Welcome back to the channel. A day ago, we released version 3.1.5 of the Nuxt UIkit module, and this is the one for working with Nuxt 3. Now, this version or this upgrade really was just a patch release that did some bumping of the dependencies that we're using, primarily the latest version of UIkit 3.18.0, I believe, and upgrading Nuxt to the latest, which I believe at this point would have been 3.10.0, and that is pretty much essentially it. But I also wanted to touch on what this module was really created to do, and the fact that it actually solve that issue by giving a direct demonstration of such. One other thing that I wanted to touch on is the version for Nuxt 2. So for those who are still using Nuxt 2, we still are supporting normal Nuxt UIkit. So the one for Nuxt 3 has the @Fedora scope assigned to it, while the one for Nuxt 2 is just basically Nuxt dash UIkit. What we want to do in one of the next releases, if you notice on the versions page of the npm package that we do not have a v2 here for the @Fedora / Nuxt UIkit, and that is because the idea was that we're picking up from what we left off for the Nuxt UIkit module here, and then basically adding it over here for Nuxt 3. Essentially what we want to do moving forward, however, is to pick up the major releases essentially from here and then pass them over to the Fedora scope. So therefore, at this point, you won't necessarily have to choose between either of the modules or naming scheme of either of the modules. You just pick the @Fedora one at a certain version if you're using Nuxt 2 or Nuxt 3. Going back on what we're discussing is initially the configuration of UIkit for better Nuxtjs support. So this really started effectively through a love of Nuxt and UIkit and wanting to have them work together. So there's a video here, but for some strange reason it's not working. What we went through here was just an instruction on how we could do an integration to make the icons work better, and we have a playlist here that goes into detail. I'll leave this in the description. So I have a playlist here that pretty much goes into details on all of the steps that we've taken to get to this point so far in getting everything to work together properly. So it was not very difficult essentially to get the integration together. However, there were some minor issues that we noticed while we were configuring it essentially. One of which was that the icons were not loading properly during SSR rendering. So therefore, whenever the page would load, and then after which the icon would come up. And that is not something that, for me at least, would not be ideal, because I want the icons to be loaded exactly when the rest of the content on the page does load. So we went through a way in which we can solve this here, and also looking at it from the SSR perspective here also, and we showed how we could automate the process of actually getting it done. This may not be showing all that great with a white background. We need to definitely add a dark theme to this site here, and yeah, we looked at all of that, and essentially what we went to the point of actually just creating the Nuxt UIkit module here is what we're talking about for version 2 here, and how you can configure it to make it work. For Nuxt 3, however, we went ahead and we did the upgrade, which is what I was showing earlier, of the @Fedora scope. So this is how we would be working with adding this with Nuxt 3. I actually just wanted to show you guys how the accomplishment essentially. So what we have over here is a Nuxt 3 UIkit test project that I created, and if we go into the config, we already have everything set up. Right now, what I did was I commented the SSR false. Nuxt uses server-side rendering by default. So we have this commented here, and we're gonna look back at we're pretty much gonna uncomment it for now. Save that. We're using the dev tools as well. We don't necessarily need it, but we're just gonna keep it there for now. And in our package.json, we have the latest release of the Fedora Nuxt UIkit. So this is 3.1.5 here, and there isn't much in here. Essentially, it's just the app.view page with an icon. So I want to show that the icon is actually working. So we have this icon right here. So it's a GitHub icon, and pretty much just a notification pop up in here. So what I want to do now is to just do I think this is npm, so we're going to do an npm dev and just start the development server here. So that should start, and we're going to open a new tab here, localhost 3000. As you can see here, without a glitch, the icon loads while the content loads at the same time as well. So if we refresh this now, you can see that that works perfectly. And this was the issue that we were having, as mentioned before. The icon would not load on time. So we pretty much went ahead and we solved that problem here while using client-side rendering. So what I want to do now, okay, let's exit this here, go over back to the config, and we're gonna set this to SSR no at this point, and I'm actually gonna close this out so that we don't have any mistake. I'm actually gonna just put this in a private window so that we can see the difference directly there. Let's save this, and we're gonna open the terminal again, and we're gonna do a npm Alright, so that's serving. So let's go over here, and this is our SSR as well, and you can see that the icon loads immediately as the content for the page load. So we've pretty much went ahead and we solve both of these issues. We solved the issue both in SSR and in a normal client side rendering. Essentially, we solved the issue that we went about solving in the two loading paradigms, and for hybrid rendering it should pretty much be the same for both of these. So yeah, we're really proud of what we've accomplished with this module, and we're really glad that we actually were able to actually solve the issue that we set out to solve. So if we go over to the nuxtuikit.fedora.com, you can go ahead and actually install this module and set it up in this manner here if you'd like to use it. We also have the DevTools integration in here, so if you want to use UIkit right in DevTools or get the UIkit site right in DevTools, you can actually get that as well, in addition to some templates that we are working on. For now, we have the UIkit cover which was provided here. You can see the source. This was inspired very much by another project which should be sourced here as well. So that is pretty much it. You guys can actually go ahead and check this out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.